What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, your sports guy. My good friend George Pepper should be joining us a little later on, but right now, our special guest for tonight, he is the head coach of the Haynes Academy girls basketball team. My good friend, Coach Everette Bates. Coach, what's going on, my man?
What's going on, JP, man? How you doing, man? Always good to be on the show, man. Appreciate the invite.
Oh, you're welcome, man. You know you're more than welcome to be on this show at any time you would like. But let's get started. I'm gonna ask you this right off the get go. You saw LeBron break the record last night. What were your thoughts about that?
Well, um, I'm gonna say that it was a phenomenal achievement, man. I thought it was a record that would never be broken. I'm gonna be honest with you, but the fact that he was able to do it, man, it's just, you know, it was just something to see, and it's probably something we might not ever see it in our lifetime, but it was definitely special, and I mean, it was electric last night, that's for sure.
Most definitely was electric, and to me, well deserved. When you have played for over 20
Absolutely.
years and barely get injured and can maintain the level of play that he has, to me it was well deserved.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that's the one thing. I don't think anybody has seen a 38-year-old play at a level like this ever. And I think that's what kind of separates him a little bit from some of the greats is that, I mean, the man's almost 40 years old and he's still playing at a high level.
Definitely, without a doubt. Coach, let's go back to when you were the head coach of McMain right quick. When
Okay.
you coached the boys, a lot of people don't know that you were I believe, the small schools metro area coach of the year. Am I correct?
That's correct. That
Tell us
is
about
correct.
tell us about your time at McMain when you were there.
So I was at McMain for 2 years. Um, I had a chance to coach some great players. Two of them went on to do great things. Charles Camouche played for Memphis, played for LSU, man. And then I got a 6'10", I had a 6'10" center by the name of Gregory Sean McGee, who played at Neosho in South Alabama and has been playing well overseas. I still keep up with him, man, but he's been doing well playing overseas. Um, I came into that situation. Um, Make no doubt about it. Coach Kevin Sanders left. He left that program in good shape. And basically, it was up to me just to, keep it going, but also kind of put my thumbprint on it as well. And we were able to be successful. I had a good staff. I had a great staff. I had a great supportive principal at that particular time. So it was definitely an experience in itself for me.
You mentioned that you still have a good relationship with these players. How important is that to develop relationships with your players?
Man, I tell you what, man, when you establish personal relationships with your players beyond basketball, man, it is the most rewarding, rewarding feeling ever. It really is. Because at the end of the day, you if you're gonna coach a sport, man, you gotta be in it for the betterment of the child, and not just for basketball, but just in life itself, man. So, um, when I see my guys, doing positive things, some of them have families now. Um, I mean, I got a player from Bell. I got a player. I coached at Bell Chase. I got a player right now whose daughter's probably the best point guard in the nation at her age. So when I see some of my players doing things like that, man, having families now, and taking care of families, man, it is a rewarding feeling for me. It makes me feel like, I did something. I, you know, so
Speaking of coaching, when did you start your coaching career? When and where?
so I actually started my coaching career in 1998. 1998. I was actually still in college, but I was I was working under Darren Lesh. He gave me an eighth grade. He gave me the eighth grade coaching position. And I also helped out with varsity too as well. Never
Right.
missed a practice. Never missed a practice. And that was a starting point for me, man. Getting to learn from Lesh and Lou, and then we had another coach. Um, we had another coach by the name of Sean. I can't remember Sean's last name. Um, Sean LaBeouf. Sean
Oh,
LaBeouf.
Sean, that's right. Yes.
Sean LaBeouf, man, he was great too, man. All of them had college experience, so I was able to learn from all three of them during my time there.
It's funny because when you was the eighth grade coach, I was on the freshman team at
Okay,
Shaw. Yeah,
okay,
I
okay,
was
yeah,
there. That's how I know Coach Bates.
yeah, yeah.
All right, Coach Bates. So let's get to where you are now, Haynes Academy, coaching the girls team. Um, when school started, I believe the head coach at the time had resigned. Why did you feel that you need to step in and be the coach and not go find another coach?
Well, the thing about it is, to be honest with you, like I had, I really initially did not have any, I didn't have any, I didn't have any urge to coach. I was thinking about coaching, but at the same time, it really wasn't on my mind at that particular point. And initially, because I'm an administrator at Haynes, initially when that situation happened, I was thinking I was going to assist my principal in then actually finding somebody. But the more we talked about it, the more people around the school was like, I think you should take the job. Teachers, people in the office was like, we think you'll be great for the job. I mean, they knew I had coaching experience. They knew that I had been a official, high school official for the past 8 years. So the more and more my faculty, kind of got behind it, and the more, and when my principal would call me in, the more I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, why not? Why not? It's a great school, it's great kids, you know, and I think that I could, do some great things there with time.
Definitely. So since you're back coaching, how has it been?
Man, it's been quite an experience, man. It's been quite an experience because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been a learning curve for me. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, um, the game of basketball has changed in the last 10 years
Right.
tremendously, tremendously since the last time I coached. So it was a learning curve for me in the aspect that, okay, I can't do some of the old stuff that I used to do. I need to get back in the lab and find different strategies where I'm able to effectively communicate with the kids to get them to do what I need to do. I can have all the plays in the world. I can have stuff from Phil Jackson. But if I can't effectively communicate with those kids to get them to do it, then none of that stuff makes any difference anyway, you know. So, that's how I kind of started. I started like 2 weeks before the first official practice. So, I kind of had to hit the ground running. But it was a learning curve for me. And I told them, I said, you're gonna learn from me, but I'm gonna learn from you as well, and we're gonna learn together, and try to put something together.
How were you able to set or demonstrate, teach your philosophies that you wanted to install within your players?
Well, the first thing I did was um kids are different now. I don't think we have a generation now where you can just you can just tell them what to do without explaining why, without telling them what the benefits are. And also too, you gotta give kids now want some type of ownership. So coming in, you know, I started talking to the players about what are some of their goals. What is it that you want to accomplish this season? By doing that, I'm letting them set their own accountability. So now, if we meet the goal, great. If we don't meet the goal, I'm gonna show you how to get there. But then I'm gonna say, remember, you set this goal. I didn't set it for you. And I think that gives kids more motivation to work hard. And that's what I've done so far. I've also made sure I also made sure that I didn't overcomplicate things. Our offenses and defenses are real simple. I mean, they are really, really simple. Some stuff I pulled from the middle school level, because it's not about, doing all this. It's not about doing all these dynamic things and, stuff you see on TV and stuff. It's about doing one or two, maybe three things really, really well and going with that.
You just mentioned about goals that y'all wanted to achieve. What were some of these goals that y'all achieved or still trying to achieve?
Well, one of them was a district championship. We missed that by one game. We also want to make the playoffs. I'm almost about 95% sure that we're gonna be in. So we're gonna accomplish that. And after that, just let the chips fall where they may. This has been man, this season here has been so challenging in the fact that my one of my senior guards was out for almost a whole month with an ankle injury. A lot of people don't know. My point guard is in the eighth grade. She is 13 years old, you know, but she's playing lights out, and then also too, I haven't been able to, it's been very hard to have everybody at the same time. I've had girls come in, one week, and then I got some girls out the next week. So, it was weeks before we had everybody together, playing together, practicing together, where we can put something together, man. But I mean, and we took some lumps. We took some lumps, but by the time we got the district, we were able to, put together a string of wins. The girls got some confidence, man, and we were able to do some good things.
You just mentioned y'all took some lumps. You're able to put together some wins. Talk about how have you seen this team grow within this basketball season?
Well, one of the things I can say is that the one reason I've seen them grow is that they are they're becoming their own coaches. Like, I don't always have to comment on what went wrong. Sometimes they can tell me what went wrong. I can hear players on the bench say, "Well, that didn't go right because she didn't cut a certain way, or that didn't go right because she forgot to flash to the high post." They're seeing that on their own, which makes my job a lot easier. Now, I
Right.
still have to guide them, but that's how we're growing. They're learning the game. They're starting to see the game on their own, and they're starting to critique, some of their own mistakes. So that's how we're growing.
Y'all finished second place in the district behind Sacred Heart. I want to know where y'all
I'm
even.
still losing sleep over that one, but go ahead.
I, I want to know where y'all even picked to finish in the top three of your district.
Uh, I'm gonna say no. I don't know for sure, but if you looked at the list of teams that were in our district, you know, I would think that 99% of people would have said wouldn't have picked us to be first or second. So I'm gonna say no. I'm definitely gonna say no.
Well, I think the job you've done with this team is incredible. And I think you deserve a lot of credit. So do your players and your assistant coaches. But I want to commend you on the job you've done with this team.
I appreciate it, man. It takes a village. It definitely takes a village, man. My my assistant coaches have done a great job. Coach L, the female coach that I have, she keeps me grounded. Especially since this is my first time coaching ladies. She reels me back. She reels me back when she has to. And Coach Land is like my hype man. He does the yelling for me when I gotta concentrate on other stuff. So it's been a good mixture. It's been a good mesh. I'm happy to have them on board. The kids have great attitudes, and they're willing to learn, and that's all I could really ask for.
You've coached boys, you've coached girls. Which one is harder? Which is easier? Who listens better? Tell us about it. Come on.
Boys are 1,000% harder. 1,000%. I said this to one of my friends. So like I could tell a girl to shoot 50 free throws and leave the gym and sneak back on her, she gonna be right on that line shooting free throws. If I tell a boy shoot 50 free throws and leave out, there's a chance when I come back, he might be shooting half court shots, dunking, reverse layups. y- 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 You know, um, y- that's the difference. That's the difference. Don't get me wrong, boys listen, but girls listen way more than boys do.
Coach, you got a big game coming up Friday night against Dominican. Talk about that for a second.
Man, I was telling girls today, man, that this is definitely a good tune-up game before the playoffs. Dominicans ranked fifth in 5A. I've actually watched them play. They have a great coach, great system. I know they're gonna bring it. I know they're gonna bring it, and we're gonna meet the challenge. Intensity wise, we're gonna meet the challenge. And we're gonna play our hardest. You know, to give ourselves a chance to win.
I will get you out of here on this last question, Coach. Will we see Coach Everette Bates coaching again on the sidelines come next season?
Without a doubt, absolutely, absolutely. When I took this job, I told my wife that this is a minimum. A minimum could be longer, but this is a minimum of 4 years, minimum. Because I think that's how long it's going to take for me to get the program where I want it at.
Okay, so pretty much the future of Haynes girls basketball is in great hands.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so.
Coach Bates, man, thank you for joining us. You know you're more than welcome to come on this show anytime.
Man, I appreciate you having me on, man. Where VK at tonight? He took off on you?
No, he didn't take off. VK is actually um, on assignment calling
Okay.
Nunez baseball games right now.
Understood. Understood, man.
Yeah.
Understood.
You know,
But yeah,
if we had VK, we probably only another 35, 40 minutes.
right. I understand. I understand, man. It's always great to talk sports with you guys, man.
Definitely,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Appreciate it, man. Good luck tomorrow night, and definitely good luck to the playoffs. Wait, before you go, when was the last time that the Haynes girls were in the playoffs?
Last year,
Last
they
year,
went.
okay.
Yeah, they went there last year. Uh-huh.
Good. Got playoff experience. Awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Definitely, coach. Glad to have you. Good luck. And we'll have you on again, most definitely.
All right. Thank you, man. It was a pleasure.
Definitely, Coach Bates. Coach Everette Bates. Yes. That's a good friend of mine. And I didn't say it while he was on the show live, but yeah, I was giving that A-grade team work when I was on the freshman team. They have us scrimmage each other. I gave that A-grade team work. Well, anyway, Coach Bates, his team will be in the playoffs. I don't see how they can get knocked out when I saw the power rankings. So wishing them the best of luck, and hopefully they can play a New Orleans team out here. I can go catch them play. If it's Douglas, if it's Kennedy again, I will be there. But my good friend Coach Bates, I want to talk about LeBron James for a second. Um, First of all, congratulations to LeBron James on breaking the all-time scoring record. And it's well deserved, like I said. Longevity, 20 years, averaging over 25 points a game for 20 plus seasons. It's well deserved. And I saw on Facebook the amount of hate he was getting for breaking that record. That's uncalled for, ladies and gentlemen. It's uncalled for. The man did it. He deserves it. Give the man his flowers. Give the man his props. Also, I want to speak about the Super Bowl right quick. I am going for the Philadelphia Eagles. I am hoping the Eagles defeat the Kansas City Chiefs and give my man Jalen Hurts his Super Bowl ring. And that's it. Patrick Mahomes will be in the Super Bowl again. I promise you. He will be there many times, and he will win many more times. But Jalen Hurts, I've been a fan since since he was at Alabama, then Oklahoma. I want to see the guy get his Super Bowl ring. But other than that, if everyone who joined us, thank y'all. Thank you to Coach Bates for coming in. We should be back tomorrow. Wait on my man VK to give me the word. If not, then we'll be back next week for sure with another special guest. But everybody that tuned in, thank y'all. I'm JB.